So is the real stock menace Dennis? Has a Dennis Kucinich and a Democratic Party that has gone his way, actually, toward big spending, big stimulus, and now potentially big taxes? I'm sure Dennis agrees with everything I just said. The Congressman joins me right now. Well, Congressman,
I don't agree with a thing you said.
Well, you were ahead of the curve here. You were urging your party to look into big stimulus, to look to help folks out. And now it's doing it in spades. And some say that's one of the reasons why we're selling off, because the government has run amok. What do you make of that?
Well, the first thing is, Neil, that the government didn't do its job. You know, if Alan Greenspan was in front of our committee the other day saying that he had a flawed worldview and that's why he didn't see the housing bubble coming, and we had the government looking the other way at the SEC while speculation was going on, not enforcing laws. The government played a role in the circumstances where investor confidence has been lost. And what do they do to try to straighten it out? They come up with this bailout, picking winners and losers, which further damages investor confidence. We need to go back to a whole different economic model.
All right. Now we're talking about taking stakes out in insurance companies. I know separately Nancy Pelosi is putting together what will be a $300 billion stimulus plan. There are a lot of folks who look at all this in the markets, Dennis, and tell me, you know, this is why we're selling. We can see what's happening here. We can see where we're going here, and we don't want to be here. What do you make of that?
Well, I think we should be concerned about investor confidence. And I would understand well why investors would be leery looking at what the government has done in the past, not protecting investors' interests by responsible regulation, not fashioning a fix for the economy that wasn't picking winners and losers. But here's what we need to do. We need to look at, as Wilbur Ross said, what is the epicenter of this financial crisis, and that is you've got these mortgage-backed securities that have failed. We need to have the government take a controlling interest in the mortgage-backed securities so people can lower their interest rates, lower their principals, stretch out their payments, but pay back the banks. Then the money starts to percolate up through the economy.
Why do you have to do anything?
This is one step.
But I know you have a good heart, but why do you have to do anything? Why do you have to screw around in the capitalist process?
Well, you know, first of all, I voted against the bailout because I thought that it was an unwarranted intrusion into the stock market. But there is a problem here, and the problem is you've got probably about 10 million people who face a loss of their home because either they're adjusted rate mortgages or they're jumbo Alt-A mortgages. And we have to be mindful of the American dream and also the fact that if people start losing their homes, that's going to mean that no one's going to get their money. So we have to see what can we do.
Think that through, though, Congressman. Let's say you set a precedent to help those who are behind on their mortgage payments, and you're going to help them. And then the guy is next door to the guy who's being helped is saying, damn, I'm paying my bill every month. I'm trying to make my bills all the time. And this guy who got in too deep, knew he got in too deep, is getting a pass. It ain't fair. It ain't right. It ain't America.
Well, I have to tell you, you know, people are losing value in their home because their neighbors are losing their homes.
Yeah, but they've already lost it. Are you saying there's going to be more of a precipitous decline?
What I'm saying is that the decline in equity that's occurred is directly related to the implosion of the housing bubble. People, even if you're doing the right thing, you're paying your mortgage and your neighbor is going under, that affects your property values. We have to realize that. So we have to work to stabilize this situation.
Congressman, it's not working, but it's not. Since this whole thing was proposed, values of homes have continued to come down. The Dow,
well, you know what's happened,
the Dow is 2,000 points poorer for your efforts. And what I'm saying is, you know, if I'm digging a pit and I realize that I'm digging a pit, I put the shovel down.
You know what? I would agree with you about digging the ditch, but I would also say that we're in a situation where the housing bubble is at the center of this crisis. We have to address that. And because the legislation that Congress passed, which I voted against, said they wanted to do something about housing, they didn't do it. And unless you take a controlling interest in these assets, you're not going to solve anything. Banks want their money. They want to make sure people can pay.
But are you saying the government?
This is where we can help.
You're saying the government takes a controlling interest in that? I mean, no offense to you, Congressman. The government isn't great at its own books. How's it going to deal with private books?
Well, look, I'm not for. I think we, you know, you have to drill even deeper here, Neil, and that is that we have a debt-based economy. And unless we deal with the debt-based economic system, we have a deeper problem. We haven't done that. The government is going to have to take it. Remember I said it. We must take a controlling interest in the mortgage-backed securities to help 10 million people save their homes. When we do that, money will start to move in the economy. There will be better investor confidence. The banks will be stronger. Banks are hoarding money right now. They're using bailout money to buy other banks. It's wrong.
We do what you say. We're going to be Russia.
Well, actually, you know, I'm not interested in being Russian. I'm interested in being American again. And in America, people have a dream of owning a home, and then dreams being destroyed.
We're America with a hammer and a sickle, but we're getting
not
away
a chance.
from America.
Listen, don't put that on me. You know, I'm an American, and I think that it's absolutely imperative that we stop the speculation that's been going on and still continuing. We stop the bailout packages. We stop the bonuses. We start to put the money where it's needed. Prime the pump of the economy. Put people back to work. Keep people in their homes. We can restore this system, and we can restore investor confidence, but we can't do it going the way we're going.
All right. Agree or disagree, you're never disagreeable. Congressman, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Thank you.